Hello viewers, Tim Poole here, editor of Gambling Insider, and I'm with Lidzén, CEO of Fast Track. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
First thing we're going to talk about, Singularity model. Big focus for you guys, and a great fun logo as well. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, the logo has a little bit of a story. I don't know if it's a logo or if it's a symbol. I think when we were having a banter around with my art director, and he's doing a fantastic job with everything on the brand. And I think at some point we started, kind of everything has to do with AI and change. Can be a bit, can be a little bit like change can be a bit scary and so on, right? So we wanted to have a symbol that associates fun with it. So you just wanted to make people smile when they come to the stand, I think it has achieved that. Everyone has just been loving it. It's really cool. Now about Singularity, great. I mean, we launched the concept of Singularity in 2021. And the concept is about how we want to achieve exponential growth with minimal effort. So the Singularity kind of encapsulates everything that goes into the work process, the customer model, and how we do prediction modeling, how we issue content, like using both generative AI and all of these different aspects, all the way through in the product, really, to create one-to-one experiences. That's what we want to scale with. And it's been, it's been both up and downs. When you're doing something for the first time that no one has ever tested before, you learn a lot whilst you're going out with it. There's no measurement point. No one is going to tell you what works, right?
Yeah.
So I think we have found it, a year ago or something like that. We found a way to get proper adoption onto the Singularity model. The operators are really loving it. They're getting a lot of traction. But obviously in this show now, we have introduced a new product for the very first time in Fast Track's history, and we are doing this as a result of having really maximizing the potential of the Singularity model. So now we have the capability, our technology is so advanced that we have the technology to really do things on a one-to-one basis, promotions, how much you need to wager, how do you target them, but the experience layer has been lacking, and that's what we are now trying to do with rewards. So that's a long story to the Singularity, yeah.
Sure. Well, you've led right into my next question. New on the horizon rewards. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so exactly. So what we're doing is that we have a very clear vision in Fast Track. We want to digitalize the iGaming industry, and we want to deliver the first self-learning engagement platform. In the process of doing that, there is essentially three components that are now coming together. You have the Singularity model that is coming from Fast Track in terms of our capabilities from an AI perspective to do one-to-one experiences. Then we have Greco, who is our sister company, we have built a platform together with two entrepreneurs that is doing gameplay risk analysis in real time, takes intrinsic behaviors and bonus programs to identify true value of players. We're putting those together. And now we're adding the missing element, which is essentially the experience aspect. And most of the operators right now are very challenged. We got a couple of hundred operators with us right now, and they're all very challenged, sharing this challenge around bonus engines and promotional capabilities. So now we're adding the rewards platform and putting that into the package, which is allowing us to properly put the Singularity model at use. So it includes, the progression layer to build loyalty schemes and experience points, virtual currencies, mini games, challenges, shop mechanics, and it's fully brandable and it's fully good. But the most important stuff is that it's fully hooked into the Singularity model. So for example, if you're trying to do a leveling system, you say that I want my player to level up 3 times during a session. Yeah. It will identify on a player-by-player basis how difficult that level needs to be in order to get that right for every player. So it's that type of stuff that we're doing.
Retention, bonus, loyalty, all these things that we're talking about and the industry is talking about at large. So important today, just with kind of acquisition costs going up and engagement being more important than ever. If you're a CRM manager, and I know there's a lot to think about, but what's at the top of your list? What's the number one factor that you should be thinking about?
Well, I think we all have a little bit different type of landscapes. I mean, we are doing business all across the globe, right? And the challenges in Southeast Asia or Africa or Latin America are very different to Europe or US and all of the rest, right? I think that, if you are in a position right now that, and we recognize this as well, that you're trying to walk into a market highly competitive and you're trying to find your ground. Typically differentiation is in the front of the mind, right? You're currently more focused on getting traffic in and differentiating your brand, which might make something like rewards and gamification and having those type of capabilities something that becomes front of mind, right? But every business, every single iGaming business will over time have to do margin management. So the profitability aspect of the brand becomes crucial. So that's when the core CRM aspect is so important, because that's where you're going to have to control your bonus spend, and you're going to have to have a very good idea about what your players like and how you manage them from a one-to-one basis with automation. So it's not like a silver bullet in these things in any way. It's very much up to what type of business you are. But I think you're splitting them into two fields at least. You have the guys working on growth, and you have the guys working more on, kind of getting the proper margin in the business.
When we're to talk about kind of bonuses and kind of free play, we've recently talked to a university professor, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, who said that the industry operators are spending a lot on free play, and actually, if you keep a customer engaged in the right way, they don't necessarily need as much free bonuses. Is the industry a little too focused on this? Certainly with what you guys are trying to do, are there more effective ways of appealing to a customer and getting their loyalty?
I think the natural evolution of consumer behavior is that we tend to invest in the things that yields results, right? So naturally there are other things than giving free rounds or free bets or free spins to players, but it is highly effective. We know that grabs people's attention and it gets back to the site. I think like now when we are looking at the rewards, I've been doing this on the operator side in the past as well, and I've seen how effective it is and how you can build a very exciting promotional ecosystem with a product like that, where you can have non-monetary rewards. They are still as exciting. You might have things that doesn't necessarily need to lead to a free spin round. You can do, mechanics with currencies and progressions and other aspects that you can add to the game that can do the differentiation. But I think the consumer always knows best, right? So I think like we need to continue to push ourselves to come up with new promotional mechanics that we can use. The operator, they're always experimenting, they're always trying to come up with stuff. But it is ultimately, the consumer is going to tell you if it's going to be something that is converting or not. But I don't know, let's give this platform a chance, and then we see like if that is having that, maybe we are creating another opportunity here.
Sure. Final word on Brazil. I think every single person in this conference and this year in the industry has talked about Brazil. Give us the fast track point of view. What are your kind of plans and hopes for that market?
We are growing at phenomenal speed in Brazil. We have hired a lot of Brazilian people in our team over the last year. We are very serious about the market. We are working with some of the biggest operators in that market, and we love the commitment that both in terms of introducing the new license and how many operators actually went for it in the end. There is quite a wide set of operators that are actually moving in for it, and they have organized themselves very well in order to do that. So I think we look at that like with a lot of excitement, and I think there is just so much opportunity down in Brazil right now. It's a little bit of a waiting game. You have to also be part of this process right now to figure out how is this going to look like a year from now. But we're going to continue to invest full force, and we got tons of operators down in Brazil right now, and we continue to sign a lot more. So we are certainly very, very serious about that market, and it's exciting.
Well, Simon, best of luck with everything in Brazil and globally, and thanks very much for your time as always.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.